That can't be. Tilda was the mole? Everyone was shocked at Ruth's words. However, the crowd's expressions hardened when the assassins' clothing were peeled off, revealing the same tattoo on their bodies. This was obviously not a coincidence. You can't prove anything with just a tattoo, can you? Objected the bald guard. Maybe it would have been less persuasive if there was only one tattoo, but what if everyone had the same tattoo? Dustin walked up to Tilda's deceased men and yanked off all their clothing. Soon, everyone realized that each of the men wore the same tattoo as well. This made things so much more apparent. It was safe to say that they'd found the traitor. No wonder Tilda immediately started kicking up a fuss the moment she arrived. She was the traitor all along. Stefan was disgruntled. As one of the Harmon family's men himself, he hated nothing more than betrayal like this. But why? The Harmon family has always trusted her, so why did Tilda betray us? Ruth asked, her brow furrowed in confusion. Nowadays, not many can resist the temptation of money and power. That's why betrayals happen easily. Without Mr. Rhys' keen observation, we would have been in danger. Stefan shivered, thinking about what could have happened. After all, having a mole was like a ticking bomb. No one could tell when they might get stabbed in the back. What should we do now, sis? Asked Ruth, at a loss. There's definitely more of them hiding among us. I must let Father know immediately so he can start digging into it, Natasha announced with a grave expression. Having a traitor was no small matter. It was much more serious than being attacked by outsiders. After all, a small leak will sink a great ship. The effects might be devastating if this matter was neglected. You're right. We must get to the bottom of this. Traitors are nothing but an abomination. Ruth nodded her head repeatedly. Miss Harmon, I don't believe Tilda would be a careless person, so there should be a couple more of them hiding among our ranks right now. Dustin began surveying the crowd with eyes like a hawk before his gaze landed on the bald guard. Why are you looking at me? Do you think I'm the mole? The guard narrowed his eyes. We'll know for sure when you take off your clothes, Dustin replied nonchalantly. Why should I? Who are you to order me around? The guard began to lose his cool. Do as Mr. Rhys says. Take off your clothes, Natasha commanded. Ms. Harmon, I've worked for you for so many years. Don't tell me you're suspecting me, the guard said incredulously. Strip, Natasha commanded. Fine. Since none of you believe me, I'll just have to prove my innocence, snapped the petulant guard, looking as though he had been wronged. However, when he moved to remove his clothes, his face suddenly twisted into a sneer. He flung out his hand and two black objects flew out of his sleeve and hurled toward Dustin and Natasha. No one around them reacted in time since everything happened so quickly. Swiftly, Dustin reached out and effortlessly grabbed the object coming toward him with his fingers. Upon closer inspection, the object turned out to be a poisonous black snake the width of his finger. Ms. Harmon, someone began shouting. Without anyone realizing it, the second snake had bitten Natasha on the thigh. Grab that traitor. Pissed, Natasha crushed the snake with a harsh stomp. Get him. The rest of her men rushed toward the guard and instantly subdued him. I've always treated you well, so why did you betray me? Natasha trudged toward him with a cold glare, a murderous aura surrounding her. Ms. Harmon, you must know that a man would do anything to become rich. What they offered me was too tempting to resist. You can't blame me for accepting, the guard sneered. Who instructed you to do this? Who's the mastermind behind this? Natasha grilled. Ms. Harmon, I'll die alone if I keep my mouth shut. If I answer, my whole family will be doomed, the guard retorted. Natasha was about to say something when a wave of nausea hit her. Suddenly, her body went lax, and she fell backward, but before she hit the ground, Dustin managed to grab her waist. He pulled up her shirt and discovered that the area where the snake had bitten her was turning purplish black. What a venomous bite the snake had. Give me the antidote. Dustin slammed his foot onto the guard's head, scowling. Only if you let me go. Or else, Ms. Harmon will be going down with me, the guard responded with a sardonic sneer. Are you threatening me? Asked Dustin with narrowed eyes. I know you're an incredible doctor, Rhys. But this venom was created by an expert and cannot be cured without the antidote. You bastard. I'll kill you if you don't give us the antidote. Furious, Ruth charged forward and began beating the guard up. Go ahead. Once I'm dead, Ms. Harmon will be following me, too. Ruth instantly halted her attack. Don't say I never warned you. She's been poisoned by a powerful venom. She'll be dead within half an hour, the guard stated menacingly. Give me the antidote and I promise to let you live, vowed Dustin with a cold expression. Why should I believe you? The guard frowned. You don't have a choice. If she dies, I'll make your life a living hell. Dustin glowered. The guard hesitated and pondered for a moment before suddenly asking. If I tell you the cure, will you let me go? I'm a man of my word, answered Dustin. All right. I'll trust you this time. The guard gritted his teeth. Actually, there isn't an antidote for this venom. The only way for her to live is if someone sucked out the venom using their mouth. However, the person who does it will most likely lose their life. So, it depends on whether you have the guts to do it. The guard sniggered. Thanks for the advice, Dustin nodded. Immediately, he slammed his foot onto the guard's chest, crushing the man's ribs and caused his internal organs to burst out with a splat. Blood burst from the guard's mouth as his eyes widened in disbelief. You said you wouldn't kill me. Sorry. I changed my mind, Dustin answered nonchalantly. You have no honor. Before the guard could say anything else, he suffocated and died. So what? Dustin asked the dead body. Everyone was dumbfounded by his cavalier attitude. Suddenly, they realized that this innocuous person might be quite the barbarian after all.